Let's talk about a huge problem in designing construction, one that's kind of hiding in plain sight. For every 8 hours a person is on the clock, about 4 of them are lost to things like waiting for materials or information. That's half the day, just gone. A 50% productivity gap. But what if the solution wasn't some fancy new tech, but just a new way of making promises? Let's dig into the last planner system.
All right, let's really look at the numbers here, because they're pretty wild. A big study from the Construction Industry Institute found this shocking reality. In a standard 8-hour day, only about 4 hours are actually spent making direct progress. I mean, imagine that. Half of every single workday for every single person on a project just vanishing into thin air. This isn't just a small inefficiency. It's a massive drain on time, money, and frankly, morale.
So that begs the big question, right? The multi-billion-dollar question. How do you even start to solve a 50% productivity gap? Where do you begin with a problem that huge? Well, the answer isn't about working harder. It's about completely changing how teams work together.
And that's where the last planner system comes in. And here's the thing, you got to forget about complex software or Gantt charts for a second. This is a total shift in mindset. It's about reframing an entire project, not as a list of tasks, but as a system of promises between people.
So what is the last planner system? LPS for short. At its core, it's a way to create this network of reliable promises. It's all about teams openly committing to what they can really achieve, and then building a system that helps them actually deliver on those commitments. The idea itself is super simple, but the impact? It's huge.
Yeah, this quote right here really nails it. Think about any project you've ever worked on. Its success always comes down to a chain of commitments, right? Hey, I promise I'll get my part done so you can start yours. What LSPS does is take that informal handshake deal and make it the official operating system for the entire project. The goal isn't just to make a schedule, it's to build reliability right into the way the team works together.
Okay, so if a project is a network of promises, how do you actually build it? And how do you keep it strong? You do it through a structured, repeating cycle. Basically, you do it by talking. Specifically, through what LPS calls the 5 connected conversations.
This cycle is basically the engine that makes LPS run. And it's not a plan it once and you're done kind of thing. It's this continuous loop. It starts big, with the high-level milestones. Then it zooms in with this collaborative thing called phase pull planning to map out the work. From there, it gets into a weekly rhythm. The look-ahead plan gets you ready for what's coming. The weekly work plan locks in the commitments. And that last step, learn and improve, makes sure the team is always getting smarter. Each step feeds the next, which is what makes the whole system so smart and able to roll with the punches.
Okay, now let's get into the secret sauce here, a concept called pull planning. This is where LPS just completely flips the script on traditional project management. It's all about shifting from push to pull, and that creates a workflow you can actually count on.
So here's the big difference, right? Traditional planning is what we call a push system. You've got a manager who makes a master schedule and just pushes tasks down to the team. The whole game is just sticking to that schedule no matter what. LPS is a pull system. It starts with the people who are actually doing the work, the crew leaders, the foremen. We call them the last planners. And instead of being told what to do, they work together to pull work forward based on what they know they can actually get done. See the difference? The plan is based on real-world promises, and that makes everything way, way more predictable. So, okay, it's a different philosophy, a totally different process. But does it actually work? This is where things get really, really interesting. The data is in, and the results, well, frankly, they're incredible.
Let's talk about the schedule first. A huge study by Dodge Analytics looked at projects using systems like LPS, and what they found was just wow. These projects were 3 times more likely to finish ahead of schedule. I mean, think about that. In an industry where projects are almost always late, this system makes finishing early 3 times more likely. That's a total game changer. And it's not just about time either. Those same projects, they were also twice as likely to come in under budget. And that makes perfect sense, right? It goes right back to that predictable workflow we were talking about. When work just flows smoothly without all the chaos and stopping and starting, you save a ton of time and, of course, a ton of money. But these incredible numbers, they're really just the result of something deeper. The real magic is what happens to the team's culture. When you build a project on reliable promises instead of just top-down orders, it completely changes how people work together. Communication gets better, people actually start to trust each other, and everyone's on the same page. It creates this super transparent environment where the whole team is learning and getting better, like all the time. That's the engine that drives those crazy results.
So let's leave you with this thought. Yeah, the last planner system started in construction, but the idea behind it, it's universal. It's about swapping out top-down demands for a collaborative network of reliable promises. So the real question to take with you is this: what could that one simple idea, that shift, do for your team, for your project, for the work you do every day?